I'm going to start XSplit as well. That to grab those streams. All right. So this is session 3 of 4 of Mutant Year Zero, looking at the Goodyear factory arc and dealing with their situation. Last session, the arc was struck by zone fever, which affected a number of people, including Dink the slave, who was taken out. The group was contacted by Marlotte, one of the 4 bosses, and Marlotte essentially provided information that she had obtained from one of the chroniclers about the location of a cache of medical supplies. And the group agreed to do it and were paid in bullets and some supplies. They spent their hard-earned bullets to buy equipment, which was, kind of fun and some good stuff there. And then they headed out into the zone. There were a number of encounters. They found a location where they suspect zone ghouls are at, but it also looks like a place that might be awesome for grabbing artifact or artifacts. And I'm going to pop over to the map on the Roll20 page. They went past the giant burning building that the smoke keeps pouring out of, and as well, it has the sort of giant defense lasers there. So they skirted around that and avoided it. They found a bridge that had a intense heat source trapped on it, and they mucked with that for a little bit and didn't kill themselves, which was good. And then they made their way to the hospital, where they had to lure out a stalking zone beast, and took some pretty heavy hits in the course of doing that and used up some mutation points, but managed to, through sheer teamwork, take it down. And then we kind of allied at the end of it, and the group was able to go into the hospital. They found some artifacts, and let me see if I have this right on what the artifacts. I believe there was a tuxedo, let me get the note here. Tuxedo, painkillers, and a chainsaw. Am I right on that?
Yep.
Okay.
4 painkillers.
Yes. So those are in your hands, as well as the medicine that was brought back to the Ark and was distributed out. The Elder clearly knew how to use it, and she would have made the arrangements for it to be distributed, and it would have taken care of the plague. And would have been cleared up pretty rapidly. So that's where we are. We're going to take up today. I want to have everybody just to do a quick introduction of their characters again, quick description. Then we're going to establish where we are in terms of projects. We're going to do the assembly to choose another project, and then we're going to move forward. I've already drawn the thread. I've made some notes on that. We'll play that out. Everyone at the start of the session, make sure you get 1 mutation point. So add that to your sheet. Each session you get 1 to start out. Don't forget, you get more mutation points every time you push a roll and take damage. So let's start. I'm going to go essentially left. I have to do that, as we talked about last time, because I have no sense of direction. I'm going to go left to right across here. Let's start with our gearhead. Please tell us about, I'm going to go to the name list. Tell us about your character.
Jin. Jin is the gearhead. She's also a human plant, which means she can have sort of spikes thrust up out of her skin, and she can also harden her skin into bark. But she's all about the tinkering and the devices, and she really dreams about finding something that'll enable her to bring solar energy to the Goodyear, which is our arc. And so that's why she's out going around and adventuring. And she has Dink as her slave, which she's uncomfortable with, but she sort of inherited him. She's uncomfortable with the concept of slavery. But she inherited him when she helped kill off his previous slave owner, and so that's how she ended up with Dink. And so when Dink got sick, she just had to go find him medicine, and so that's also what stimulated her to go out and join the hunt for the medicine.
Awesome. Baldanders.
Sure. So Baldanders is a big, tough enforcer who really doesn't enjoy hurting people or his necessary like role as the enforcer, but would prefer to spend most of his time kind of building improvements on the ark and kind of just being a farmer or something like that, but is willing to kind of take the role of muscle and of and of going out and exploring the zone as needed. He's kind of a quieter person who tries to kind of communicate more through just body language and through his actions rather than through actual communication, the words. His mutation is extreme reflexes. So his extreme reflexes kind of take the form of occasionally kind of he can move very quickly or move just which looks weird because he's kind of a larger bulking kind of person, and I think that the strain of his mutation has kind of taken a toll on him over the years. So he has like just aches and pains as he moves around and kind of moves a little bit uneasily as certain parts of his body have just been able to adapt better to the mutation than others. So I think that he's just kind of a little bit hulking and a little bit kind of balding, pulled back hair, scraggly kind of beard, looks a little bit like maybe the Hound from Game of Thrones.
Nice. Dink, recovering from the reddish patched zone fever. There was actually a great moment at the beginning when Jin tried to help you and was entirely unsuccessful and almost made you choke on your own phlegm. So Stephen King's The Stand style. So Dink, tell us about you.
I think I am a slave to Jen, and I think it's great. She's the best owner I've ever had. She's never stuck me with her plant stuff, which is good. The choking on the phlegm, I don't blame her. She did her best. She brought me medicine, so it's okay. I have a mutation where I am a parasite, which is great. And I'm kind of scrawny and very hairy. And little beady eyes that I keep behind my goggles.
Are those goggles plastic or metal?
They used to be metal.
Okay.
I replaced them with plastic.
All right. Let's hear from Tula, our stalker.
Yeah, so Tula usually hangs out with the other stalkers up in this little busted up alcove that in the Good Ear factory that overlooks the ruins to the south. She is a very slight woman who carries a bow and has occasionally been seen doing impossibly dangerous stuff using metal flying around. She's kind of stoic and no nonsense. But she's, I don't know. She seems to really care about the people that travel with her.
She's trouble. I have to keep an eye on her because she wants to hurt Jen. So
maybe. And Durango, our dog handler.
All right, so I'm the dog handler. I'm the kind of the outside guy. I don't really like hanging with the other folks much. I'd rather hang with my animals, particularly my dog. And I'm wiry build, maybe a little shorter than average height, whatever that goes for in this crazy world. Disfigurative face. I've got interesting relationships with the various folks. There's one individual in particular that Durango does not deal well with, the enforcer Joe Nuts, that I refer to as Joe Nuts. And the dude brutalized and murdered my last dog, so he's not tops on my list. I'd like to see this community, even though I'm not tied to the community in so many social ways, I like this community as part. It's important to me, and I want to see it move forward. And so my efforts, in large part, go to make that happen, particularly with Tula. I see her as a key to us moving forward, so I tend to go to lengths to protect her and keep her viable moving forward. And I like, I think Dink is pretty cool. I think he needs to grow out of that station that he's in, seeing himself as that slave. I want to see him be outside of that role. And
go on.
Jin has a thing for me, disliking me and my dog. I'm not sure. At least I perceive that to be the case.
Your dog's name again?
Diogi.
Okay.
Or dog.
Right. All right. So let me do a real quick run through the NPCs we have on the table. I've got that page up on Roll20. I'll just go through it real quick. We've got 4 bosses in the arc. Victoria, Draco, Jahamid, and Marlot. They're the people who kind of have some power and people under them. Marlot's the person. She is the one who contracted you guys last time to do this, and she is sort of Baldander's kind of boss. And so that's the sort of power arrangements. The other force, of course, in the arc is the Elder. She has the Dawn Vault, where you can turn artifacts in. You're required to turn artifacts in, or you need to hide them to get advancements for the arc itself. It gives bonuses when you do turn those in. Pontiac is the rival gearhead. Ariel is a slave who is an assistant, takes care of the Elder. Elon is an enforcer for, I think, Victoria, if I recall correctly. Astria is a chronicler who gets in everybody's business. I put new images down. Ferris is the doctor that you guys contacted last time. This Anders I've put there. He is the frog-legged stalker. That is the best frog-legged stalker picture I could find. So he has kind of jumping legs. And while he was good to have along, he also is seriously engaged in self-protection. And finally, Jonats is there. That is the other enforcer around that.
Joe Nuts.
Yes, that Durango has a problem with. So I'm going to move this set of images. I'm going to pop us over onto the map of the arc itself, and we're going to talk projects. Now, one of the things I mentioned last time is that you guys can buy equipment, and one of the pieces of equipment that you can buy is a spade. Spade actually gives a gear die when you do projects. I just wanted to mention that in case anybody wanted to buy one of those before we started. It only costs 1 bullet. If you have a spare one you want to put, it gives you an extra gear die when you go to do projects. So if you decide to do that, you can mark that on your sheet. Let's go to the arc. Rich, Vince, I don't think you've seen this yet. This is the map of the arc. It shows where people crash. Shows kind of layout. I put in where the different bosses have their sort of HQ on there, where the workshop is, all that kind of stuff. So we've got a little bit of detail there. So that just gives us sort of a spatial sense. Now, last time, the group chose as a project to develop a temple. And the temple essentially is by the graveyard. And it's kind of a place of worship, and it's sort of changed some of the dynamics in terms of things, sort of gathering point, and it raised the group's culture up. Right now, you have a food supply of 10, which is the break point, which means fewer people die each session, but they still do die. So could I have someone roll me a d6? Anyone? Let's take the first number there. So 5, and that is reduced slightly because you have food supply. So 4 people die. That's from a combination of zone fever and general malaise. So you are down to 193 people. Food supply of 10, culture of 4, tech of 2, warfare of 4. So now the group has to decide what project you want to work on. I'm going to briefly go through what available projects there are. And essentially, I'm going to identify them and identify what they assist with. If you have any questions, go ahead and stop me. Right now, the 2 projects you have completed are Pigsty and a Temple. Here are the other ones. Defenses, like Palisades and Earthworks. Organized hunting parties. Cannibalism we took off the table. Cropland. A slave market. Zone wrestling, like Thunderdome. A museum. Let's see, and I think that's it with your current state of things. Those are the choices that you have right now.
What does a museum do for you?
A museum. So museum actually increases culture by d6 and tech by d6.
I like that idea because it keeps the chronicler off our butts. It'll give her something to do.
The skill to do it, the skill to build a museum is comprehend. Just telling you before we move on. Are you guys cool with that, or is there any discussion about another project that people think would be interesting or want to ask about?
So,
well, it wasn't a suggestion on my part.
Okay.
I was just curious.
So I take it, does a spade help us make a museum?
Yes, spade works essentially because it's for any project there is a certain amount of building that's involved with it.
So is endure at all useful, or is it only comprehend that we're rolling with?
For this particular project, comprehend is the only skill that's used with that.
So does anyone have a high comprehend, or I know I can contribute anything. Some of the projects have 2 stats, so like
yeah.
The one
So
we're building the temple.
Yeah, the defenses, the hunting party, the cropland, the slave market, the zone wrestling, all of those have 2 different skills associated with them. And I'm glad to answer questions about any of those.
The hunting party gets us food, or does it also get us artifacts?
The hunting party just works for grub. Essentially, it's actually pretty cheap, and it gets you 2d6 added to your food supply. The skills that are involved with that are endure and shoot. And it only takes 5 points to build. I think
what
that's
about
a
the
typo.
So I can contribute quite a bit to an endure task. I'm also thinking about taking the talent workhorse, which would give me an additional 2 dice to any project that we did. But so if we do want to choose something that has a higher task that also has endure, I can contribute quite a bit to that. So maybe the cropland or the zone wrestling.
Cropland it takes 15 points because there's 5 of you, but you get 3d6 added to your food supply.
Let's do it. Let's fucking do it.
Yeah, Jin's all for it. Cropland, that's, using the sun's energy. This will be beautiful.
Yeah, well, at Plant Mutant, it makes sense. Is everyone cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to put it on the sheet then. I'm going to put that down.
And just, we're recovered from whatever we had last time, right?
Yes, but you're going to need to mark off food for healing.
Okay. For fatigue, or is fatigue water?
Fatigue is water. I'm assuming that water you can get right now back at the camp. People will essentially cover you on water, but food's a little more problematic.
Okay. And Jin bought a spade.
Okay. So it is going to take 15 points to do the cropland. The way I usually do this when I run this at the table is I go around. Usually the person who has the highest score will go first, just so we can see how many successes they get. We kind of go around. You can opt to do work on the project, or if you have something else you want to do, you can do that in this go around. For example, often the gearhead sits out to do repairs or things to get an extra round of doing that kind of thing. But you're going to get another go around in a bit.
I have a question about that. Could I? What would it take to get those rubber waders that I have and have them actually protect me against rot?
That would require convincing a gearhead to essentially do that for you, either Pontiac or Jin. The other option, you could buy boots or a rot suit. That would cost some, essentially, and we would say that is the payment to do that.
How much does the boots cost and the rot suit cost?
Okay, so boots costs either 1 or 2 bullets, and they give you a +1 to endure when you're walking out in the zone on a harsh trek. The rot suit is 4 to 8, but it gives you protection 3 against the rot.
I'm really only looking for like protection 1 maybe against the rot. So
you probably want to talk to the gearheads.
Yeah.
And negotiate on that. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the project dates. I'm going to set some stuff about what's happening in the camp, and then I'm going to come in and check in with each of you and see what you're doing sort of generally. In terms of the way that the projects work, there is just one bite at the apple for doing project work during a session. But I like to get that out of the way at the start. So who wants to begin with the work on the cropland? Endure or know the zone are the 2 skills.
I'll do it.
Okay, Dink.
As long as Jen doesn't mind, right? Jen, okay? With that thing I should do, Jen?
Oh yeah, Jin's going to be right there with you probably, unless something else comes up. Yes, this is a great idea. I'm glad you're excited to do this. This will be so great. This will be bringing back culture to our area. It will bring us food. We'll be so much better off.
So let me ask you then, Dink, what do you imagine that the cropland is? Are we finding some lands that we're tilling and we're turning the earth outside? Are we building hydroponics? Are we bringing soil up and doing stuff on a roof? What are you imagining?
Yeah, totally. I'm all about the roof. I really like the idea of the roof.
Okay.
Maybe the gearhead can come up with like a cool corrugated aluminum roof thing that we could slide over in case it starts to rain bad. But yeah, just bringing a bunch of dirt up onto the roof and creating a little crop area on top. I like that.
Okay. I'm going to kind of let me get here. I'm going to do that and see if I can put a little cropland thing up there. So I have a little green rectangle for the cropland. Okay, Rich, which do you want to roll? Do you want to roll endure or know the zone?
Endure for sure.
I figured that would be the case, and you have the syntax.
I have the syntax. I'm working on it right now. So skill, base, then gear. I don't have any gear, so you enter it as a 0, correct?
That is correct.
Skill, base, and that is a strength, so I'm pretty okay strength. Do that as a 0. Here we go. Okay, how does this go?
All right, so you've got 1 success you're going to be contributing towards the project, but you can push it, but if you do, you're going to take damage. At least 1 damage there because you got one of those rad signs on the yellow dice.
How much could I possibly go up to? I see 3 5s and a 2. What would I be
re-rolling 4 dice? So
I'm doing it.
Okay.
I got another success and I took 1 damage.
Okay, so you mark that off. That's damage that essentially you're going to have to spend food to recover from.
Okay. Damage.
And that is essentially goes up to your strength and reduces your strength by 1.
Oh, poop. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So tell me what that's like. What is it that you do to begin this project?
I don't do know the zone, so I imagine that I'm not like way out there. Someone else has picked out the dirt, but I'm carrying dirt to the base, and then I climb up and I pull it up via rope and pulley up to the rooftop, and I pull over these buckets and I dump them for somebody else to take a rake or shovel or whatever and spread it around. So I'm purely manual labor of moving pounds and pounds and pounds of dirt.
And probably take some damage both from the stress of this and also because you're sweating and it's calling in all the bottle flies that come in and feed on your sweat. You know, they're like the size of your thumb, you know, and they get in underneath your clothing and move around in there. And when you squash them, then you got that gunk running down your chest. They're horrible things. Who is next? Who wants to work on the project next?
I'll give it a go, I think.
Okay, which one are you going to use? Endure or know the zone?
It has to be know the zone.
Okay, let's have you make that roll then.
All right. Let's see if I did this right. Oh. Where am I supposed to put that syntax?
Put it in the Roll20 thing.
In the main little window?
Yep, in a little chat window.
If one of the fields doesn't have a number, I just take that field off? Or
Nope, you leave it in and you put a 0. 0d6.
I mean, it's fine if you... Oh, sorry. It's skill, then stat, and then gear. And it doesn't have a problem if you leave the gear off, actually.
Oh, does it? Oh, good.
Skill, stat. Okay, I hope I'm doing this right. The last one really messed up.
Yep. Look at that. 2 successes. Are you happy with that, or do you want to push that?
I only had 3 dice. It's pretty good. I think I'm happy with that.
Okay. All right. Up by 2. When Rich comes back, I need to remind him he took a point of damage, so he gets another mutation point.
I was going to ask, maybe next time around.
Okay.
Sorry, I got so engaged with the number there. I didn't think about this. I wanted to use, see if I could get DOG to start hauling dirt. Some of the other dogs that I'm working with, see if I can get them to haul dirt. Just basically use them like a pack animal.
Okay. Well, we'll think about that in the next project time.
All right.
Okay. Who's next?
I'll go.
Your river.
All right.
I assume this is know the zone.
Oh, yeah. Squats.
But you could push it.
I'm definitely pushing it.
Okay.
For
1.
clarification, since you didn't show any damage in the first one, And he's not showing any in a second. He's not taking any damage.
That is correct.
Tula's not taking any damage. Sorry. She's
Yeah.
not.
Yes.
Tula walked away unscarred by that.
But if she had shown damage in the first one, is that the damage she would have taken, or would she have taken damage from both of the rolls?
We would check the final result, and we would look at the damage number in that, because you don't re-roll damage dice.
Got it.
So
Okay.
they would hang over, and we would check them.
It's actually flowing it down then.
Yes, yeah. It does a good job of handling that. So, River, I've got the sense from Durango and from Dink of what they're contributing with their endure, lifting things, hauling things, moving things up to the roof. What is your contribution to the project?
Well, I think since, the dog handler is out and people are moving dirt and things like that, I think I helped scout out a safe dirt location, a safe, rot-free area we can steal some dirt from. And then after that, I'm just sort of watching over with some of the other stalkers, making sure that our convoy doesn't get jumped or by, critters or brigands or whatever. So yeah, I'm just sort of, most of what I'm doing is watching over the people, me and Anders and a few other stalkers.
Yeah, and you found a good spot that has some soil that you're pretty sure is untouched. You have a good sense for that, and they've kind of digging out the perimeter of that, watching the line. So you're definitely able to do that. Baldanders, let's have you go next.
Cool. Let me try this here. All right, so I added the talent dice as gear dice. Maybe there should have been skill dice. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think actually skill dice is the easier way to do those, but that's okay.
All right. I also made a macro for my roll, so I can share the syntax for that, so that I can just click it each time.
Okay.
Okay, so I think I'll push. I have 2 successes, but I have a lot of possibility for more.
Okay. All right. So what we've got here is you're going to take 1 damage, and then you did your talent as gear dice. So what's going to happen is, because of the way you did that, what's the gear die bonus from the spade?
So 1 from the spade, and then I just did the other 2 from workhorse.
Okay. What happens is on the reroll, you got a breakage on the gear dice, so your spade will break.
Okay.
I'm going to read it that way. But you will get 3 successes and take 1 point of damage. So you guys are at 8 successes so far. You are over halfway through this project. And it comes down to Jin. Jin, if you can roll 7 successes, you can finish that project this time.
No pressure there, right? That's
part of the cards.
I mean, I don't even think that's. Yeah, I don't think that's even possible for me. But I could get far along the way. But then the question is, what else could I do? Right? Because I could do something inventory or tinkery.
We would give you an extra go at repairing something or building something new if you want to do that instead of working on the project. The cost is that the project doesn't go up, and you don't get the EXP for working on the project.
Oh, well, I think she was invested in the crops anyway, so she'll go along with this.
Okay.
So
which one would you use? Endure or Know the Zone?
I can't be Know the Zone. I don't have any skill in it, so it's going to be Endure. Ooh, I didn't do poorly.
Holy cow! So yeah, you get 3, taking the project up to 11, which means you're almost assured of getting that finished next time. So what is it that you do? How do you bring your endure skill to bear on the project?
Well, she does her usual thing of taking her long hair and putting it in her mouth and chewing on a little bit and thinking, and then she says, I think a block and tackle would be very useful here since we're building this on the roof. So she'll devise a block and tackle to help it haul the dirt up so that it's a lot easier.
Nice.
And that would make it a lot more efficient.
Easy to do. Yeah, you get it people set, put a little bit of that tack on that, put it to good use, and the cropland is coming along. You've got the corrugated roof over there to keep off some of the acid rain. You're watering it carefully with the water that you've purified, and you're getting all that set. So I want to ask one more meta question before I kind of zoom in for you to think about. Those of you who have those artifacts, the tuxedo, the chainsaw, and the painkillers, you probably will need to decide whether you're going to keep those or give them to the elder and they will go away permanently. Of those, the tuxedo and the chainsaw will both give development bonuses. The chainsaw gives an extra D6 for technology, and the tuxedo gives an extra D6 for culture as you guys decide that you all want to wear tuxedos. So that's how that works. So, anybody have a question about that before I start?
Did we decide who had the chainsaw?
I don't think we decided who has what.
No. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna hand them all over to the elder, with the condition that I get to wear the tux once.
The tuxedo gives 2 dice to manipulate. The chainsaw gives you 2 gear dice and does 3 damage when it hits. It does require booze to operate it. And then the painkillers heal all damage immediately. So it was you 3, Baldanders and Jin and Tula, who went out on the expedition. So you 3 need to decide about that.
Are we planning on a zone expedition today?
There's a possibility of it. It'll be entirely your choice on it.
Yeah, the chainsaw is an improvement, but only by 1 gear dice. So I'm happy. I think that I'm not really entirely clear on what the development bonus is, but I think I like the idea. The reason Baldanders went out there was to, help improve the arc. So I think that he would hand it over.
And are you cool with that, Jen?
I'm thinking. I really think it would be cool if one of our characters had a chainsaw. I just picture that so in battle, so cool.
And me, I'm not the melee type.
Yeah, Jin isn't either. So unless somebody else really thinks that would work for them, then it's.
I mean, it would be awesome. I would love to have Baldanders with a chainsaw, but
keep it a dink.
Yeah. So let's then Baldanders roll me 1d6. And that's the amount that will be added to your tech of the arc based on that donation. So that is just a 1.
Just a 1.
So they're still trying to figure out how the chainsaw works. It raises your tech up to 3, so that's not too bad. Every little bit counts. What about the tuxedo?
Oh, Jin's all for giving the tuxedo up. That's just so frivolous.
Okay. And you do get to wear it once, of course, Tula.
Yeah. I do think there's this little scene, a couple of days before where we're approaching and people are resting, and you just see her strip down to her base layer, get in the tux, and do this little dance that maybe she saw when she was out in the zone, if somebody restored an old movie projector or something like that. Then she
Fred Astaire style, Ginger Rogers. Okay.
Yeah. And then she sighs and folds it all back up nicely and gets back into her travel gear, and yeah.
You get to roll me a d6, and we're going to add that to your culture. Okay. So 4. Decent. So culture goes up to 8. And what happens, of course, is those things get taken apart, looked at. The chronicler talks to people about how they work. The information is passed around. They talk about what this means to the ancients, that kind of thing. All of that is what builds these ratings up when you turn things in. Now, the third piece is those painkillers. they are things that won't give you any information, so they don't add to your development bonus for the arc. They are super useful. So what do you want to do with those?
I mean, isn't that something that the elder could give, dose those out for people that are going into the field? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that could be. Are you, Jin, Baldanders, are you cool with that?
Jin's on the fence. She sees the value of giving it to the community. But, also, if we're going to be going out again, these could be really useful if we get injured.
So they would heal all strength damage?
Yep.
Yeah, I think Baldanders would definitely like to keep at least one of them.
Yeah, I think Jin would think that this is a good thing for us all to keep.
Are you cool with that, Tula?
Yeah, this is a pretty proactive group. We're the people that, we did really well on this, and doing a good job means that you're going to get asked to do it again. So she's perfectly okay with us retaining these.
Okay. So you have 4 doses of the painkillers. So I want to start and kind of zoom in and talk with what people are doing, kind of set things up in the camp right now.
I do want to do one specific thing with the, I think,
Sure.
we give, like, it makes sense that, what's his name?
Anders?
The Enforcer gets one.
Oh, Baldanders.
Baldanders gets one.
Okay.
It makes sense that Jen would get one because she understands this stuff better. I want to give one to, God, what's his name? Durango. Partially as a peace offering, but also because he's got more creatures he's got to take care of. Especially if DOG gets hurt really bad, we don't want to lose that, well, the mutt that we all sort of come to like, and the, yeah.
So let's do this take a look at it. Durango, Tula approaches you, and there's still some tension between the two of you, but so how does that go?
I look at her a little quizzically. I don't quite understand this.
Since you were out last session, that meant that you had fallen victim to the disease for at least a time. So yeah.
Okay. I'm not used to this sort of thing. But DOG's off to my side. They're whining for some food. He's hungry. So look at that. Look at her. And accept it.
It's probably the most emotional response you've gotten from Durango ever. So is that cool? Can we cut there?
Yeah.
Or do you,
Yeah.
I say before I go, glad to see you back on your feet. And that's like, again, that's all the emotional reaction we get out of. Oh boy.
two stoic folks. Let me then check in. What I want to do is check in with everybody, see what you're doing. I want to start with Dink and Durango because they weren't here last time, and then I want to come to Baldanders because he's the one who has to leave earliest. So that, and then I'm going to hit Tula and Jin. If that's cool with you guys, it's kind of a check-in. So Dink, let's start with you. It was painful rashes. It was that phlegm. You've recovered. You've been doing work on the cropland. You will note that people now are hanging around the temple more. They seem to be coming there and talking to one another. There seems to be more of that. That's one thing you'll note. The other thing you will see, because you're pretty sensitive to the shift of power, because you saw your boss get gacked. You're sensitive to those kinds of changes. And it's pretty clear to you that right now, Boss Victoria, she has this area that's sort of on the front part of one of the buildings. She's got people at sort of the doorways there, her folks. There's that space between her and where Boss Marlotte is, the sort of tire things. You see that Victoria is kind of pushing in. Like her people are, moving past kind of the line and moving around, and there's more stare downs, like there's something going on. Like the storm might be coming there between the two of them. So what do we see Dink doing?
And this is outside of his work, because that's going to take what? Like 14
outside
hours
of work.
a day. Okay.
Yeah.
Dink wants to be a good slave to Jen, so he probably wants to find a little bit of information. Is there anyone within any of the slaves within Victoria that he could maybe sidle up to during work time, chat with during break period?
Yeah, that seems like a good thing. Give me a name.
I'll call you Lowell, but I'll think of a name for the character. Just a sec.
Okay.
Gist.
So Gist is somebody who crossed Victoria a while back and kind of ran up a debt tab. So that's why he is serving this out. He keeps saying he's going to get out from under it, but he keeps spending his money and not being able to buy himself out of it. And you'll catch up with him, and he knows you, but he's maybe a little bit jealous of that Jin is like takes care of you and doesn't smack you around.
I try, but she won't. I don't understand it.
And Gist is got kind of a carapace, like his skull and some of the bones have kind of grown out, and so they form kind of a little bit of an armor. So it almost looks like a one of those skeleton costumes where it's kind of showing through the skin. And he's like, dink. What is the dinkster? What's up?
Just. I notice. I can't help my eyes. They see.
That's what they do. Those eyes.
True. Unless they're stalks, then other. What is Victoria up to? She keeps moving in. Looks like trouble's coming. We lost 4 this week.
He's a little hesitant to speak about that. Clearly something has been said to him. Do you want to roll, or do you want to try and use something to convince him? It does seem like he is reluctant.
Yeah, reluctant. Yeah, I'll just try to convince him. I don't have a whole, I'd love to give him some bullets, but I don't have anything to give him. So just my sheer personality is what I'll go with.
Okay, that's manipulate. You just need a success.
Okay, manipulate. All right, I actually have some manipulate. Isn't that crazy? All right, let me grab the syntax real quick. Sorry, I don't have it memorized. I have no gear to use, of course.
The tuxedo would have helped.
Oh, well, yeah, I just don't think I'm a tuxedo kind of guy. But
cigarettes also help in this game.
That's appropriate. It's like a prison. Success.
Perfect. A success. Okay. Victoria, she's kind of antsy. They built that temple, and she's been the one that's always kind of preached and talked and brought people in that way. She's got an idea about the Jeebus, and she's been talking to people about that. And now they're out at the temple, and then Marlotte sent sent your boss or your gear, I don't know what you call him, sent him out with those other people and came back and like saved everybody. And Victoria just wants a fight.
Oh, Victoria wants more attention. Does it feel like
I think
anybody's listening to her?
Yeah, I think she would like to take Marlot off the table.
Oh.
She's been hoarding scrap pistols, bullets.
Oh, that's not good. You gonna be all right?
I don't know. I'm not really a fighter, but I can take a few hits, so I might be out there on the front lines.
You be careful. Just.
Yeah.
Maybe you should be hurt for a little bit after work today, so you don't get any killed.
Think about that, but it's one beaten or another.
True. Maybe you survive means another day. When you get shot and killed, you're not here no more.
True that. True that, Dink.
Okay.
God, you got smart all hanging on the gearhead and things. You could be a chronicler.
Maybe I am.
Ooh.
Being a slave
Are
chronicler.
You? Ooh.
Maybe I could do that.
Oh.
All right.
He thinks about that for a while.
I'll slap him on the carapace shoulder there, and no, not hard, like pat. He probably flinches, right? But still.
Yes. Oh yeah, he flinches instinctively.
Yep. And then I'll amble back to work. That's good. I'll need to pass that along to Jen.
Sure. Durango, you've recovered from being sick. You've been working for a while, getting this crops together. You've seen some of this stuff that's going down. Some tension there across the board. And certainly you have a friend in, I believe, in Jahamond. He's the boss that kind of has helped you out before. So outside of that circle of things. So what do you want to do? What is, when we come in on Durango, what do we see?
Going up to, I just want to pass by casually Johanna and just, what's up, boss?
Hey, Durango. Come over here.
Sure, boss.
Hey, so one of the guys saw you talking to Tula, right?
Yeah. Somebody got a problem with that?
No, other way, no problem, other way, flip it, do it on the flip side. And
flipped.
Yeah, you can consider it flipped, man. So anyway, yeah, so she clearly knows some shit about the zone. She walked out there. She came back with those meds. They helped out. It would be how to put this? Let me think here. Let me roll it around. Yeah. So anyway, if you were to cozy up to her, so because she's kind of standoffish, the other stalkers don't like her. If you were to do that, I would consider it a personal favor to me.
Boss, you're right. That's a personal favor.
Okay. You need something? What do you want?
Hey, you know the zone. Food, grub. It's always the thing.
All right. Let me slide you a couple of grub. We good?
Yeah, I'll see what I can do. You know, I like the girl. She's important to our future.
Yeah.
But she didn't like me so much. That might be turning around though.
Yeah, that's the thing. So if you do it and you get friendly like with her and you hear something, maybe you come back and tell me.
you know, protect herself. Is there any way you could slide me a couple rounds?
You're pushing it here. Gave you some food there. I help you out all the time. And now you're going to ask for some more bullets on top of what my help is. Let's flip that. Can we flapjack it? Flip it over?
All right. Tell me about your flip.
If you bring me some info from her, some details, I will pay for that with bullets.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
Good. Pulls out his hand. Cool. All right. Cool. Check you out later. Baldanders. Let's check in with you. Marlot was very pleased with how things went down. Thanked you for going out and doing that, even though it was kind of outside of what you normally do. You've been working hard on the project and getting the crops down, and so it probably is late into the push that Victoria is doing that you kind of notice it because you've been so occupied with the work. But you will notice that tensions are rising, something's going on. So when we come in on you, what do we see you doing?
If I think maybe the scene could kind of be like Baldanders is still up on the roof, kind of with the spade, getting the dirt kind of from where the big piles where everyone left it, and kind of putting it into rows to be kind of planted, and then kind of the spade breaks. And he kind of like, you see this kind of frustration, and he kind of walks over, and maybe kind of at that kind of Morlock comes up and checks in on the progress, and you can kind of see some maybe down below in the street, like some tension or some people milling about, maybe some tension coming up that way.
She'll say, hey, Baldanders, keep your knife, gun, keep them close, keep your back, keep your eyes out. Something might be going down here soon.
What could be going down, boss?
Victoria might be on the warpath. She might see me as the target of the day. So I don't think she's going to strike soon, but she's going to be probing, seeing who she can buy off, seeing who she can take out on the sly.
You think she's going to be just killing people, or you think it's more of a knock them out for the day? I mean, what is she trying to take over the whole place here? Or?
No, I think she wants me off the table. She thinks 3 bosses is better than 4.
Jeez, man. Well, I guess I should stay close to you then, huh?
I got some people doing this, and she kind of stops. She goes, the guys I got on my back, and she points to the goons that she has with you. She goes, points to the crops, and she says, they're no good for that. They don't know what they're doing. You know what you're doing there. You stick with that.
Yeah, but if they make a move, I need to be there. Unless there's something I can do proactive. You want me to go stop it before it starts?
She goes, I think you should watch out for yourself first. I think you watch out for the crops.
All right, but man, would I know who the enforcer most associated with that boss would be?
Yeah, it is. Let's say we've got Joe Knotts is one of hers, and we'll put Elon. I think I established Elon as one of hers as well. So those are the two that you know.
I think you'd be like, whoa. What if I went and looked for one of those guys? Just kind of put him out for the day.
If you do that, that puts us at war.
I don't want that. I don't want that. I'll keep my eyes open. I'll do the work up here.
She says, "Look, if something does go down," and she kind of puts her hand on your shoulder. She goes, "If something goes down, then you can hit one of those two. But don't do anything until she acts. Okay?"
All right, boss.
Okay. Crop's looking good.
Hey, the spade just broke.
Oh shit.
You know where I can get another one?
I'll see what I got. Maybe go check with what's her name, Jen. She might be able to put it together. Maybe even make it better.
Oh, all right. I'll do that.
Okay, we cool?
Yeah. Watch your back, boss.
It's what I do. And she will head off. Tula, let's come to you, if that's okay. Anders has probably been hanging around and talking to you more than before. So you do have at least one of the stalkers who's there. And he's incredibly talkative. So he's pretty much told everybody about everything that you guys found out there. And the heat wave bridge and the hospital and all that stuff. He does not mention the Zone Ghoul place with the artifacts. He's got enough sense to keep that to himself. So what do you want to do, Tula? When we come in on you, what do we see?
So are the other stalkers some of the other stalkers starting to give me a wide berth? I overheard one of the previous discussions, like, oh yeah, the other stalkers are kind of leery of Tula.
Yeah, well, remember you were kind of on the outside before, being a stranger.
Mm-hmm.
There are some, like Anders and a couple of his buddies, who have some new respect for you, and there's some others that are a little PO'd of the attention you're getting. So you're still fairly isolated.
All right. And is there any correlation between which ones are most PO'd at me? Like, who are they with?
Stalkers, a few of them are associated with the different bosses, and a lot of them are independents. But definitely Victoria's people are giving you kind of the side eye.
Yeah, I think I just sort of get aggravated by this and climb up onto the roof and go over to where Jin is. Just go over to Jin.
All right. So Jin, you'll see Tula heading up.
Question: when Tula gets agitated, do metal objects start vibrating?
Oh, that's a good detail. What do you think?
I don't think she's quite at that point yet.
Okay.
Okay.
But it's a good tell. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Some people can start knowing when Tula's upset.
Maybe put my hand on the corrugated sheet metal. When I come around the corner, it goes rattle. So I just pull my hand back. Yeah, that works.
All right, so we're on the roof. It's probably evening, still hot. And again, you got that black tar roof. And if you guys have ever been up on one of those on a hot day, you know how it holds the heat and then it gives it back up, and it is sweating, and some of it's soft now. When it gets really hot out, it gets that kind of sticky where it gives just a little bit there. And of course, it is humid here, as it always is.
No, I think Jin would have put planks or stepping stones of some sort across the roof to take into
okay.
account stuff like that, so that wouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
Or less of a problem anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Still gonna radiate heat back.
All right, and Jin's all probably in a very good mood because of the work that's happening on the garden on the roof. So she likes the fact that there's going to be lots of not flowers, but crops or whatnot growing on the roof. So that puts her in a good mood, and so she'll be up there with her hair pulled back, like probably neatening up the rows for wherever we're going to be planting stuff as Tula comes up.
Is it unusual for Tula to come up here onto the roof?
I think probably not, because I would think that Tula might like it as sort of a way to get away from the rest of the people. And Jin is and Tula probably knows that Jin is very inclined to Tula. That was what we established in the relationships earlier, that she feels comfortable with Tula. So I think there's probably an open invitation to come up whenever she wants to.
Okay. So Tula, this is your scene. You're kind of calling it. So how do you want to do this?
No, I as the work's winding down for the day, because we don't have a lot of daylight's mostly gone and everything like that. I just want to I don't know. I traveled through the zone a bit with Jin, and I traveled through the zone with Dink before, and Dink lives there. I don't know. I kind of just need somewhere to let my hair down, because now I suddenly don't feel like I belong with the other stalkers. That's really all.
Okay. Chat, can I hang out?
I think Jin might see that you're sort of upset and say, "Do you want to have a drink?"
That's right. She's got booze.
Yeah. Jin should be really popular since she has booze, I would think.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, that might help.
just a little. Just to relax. So she pulls out her bottle, pops out whatever she's using as a cork, and pours drinks in a couple of dusted off glasses.
Is the booze you've made clear, or does it have any kind of color to it?
I want to say it's clear, because I got the gin working last time, so it's still pretty good. And I guess I expect as things get worse, it'll be worse.
Yeah.
Have discoloration or start tasting like tire. I don't know.
Everything tastes like tire here. So.
I know, doesn't it? We have to come up with some good spices. But yeah, so pour it up.
It's the terroir,
It's going to be the good ear vodka, right?
Right. I have a question here. When this is going on, is Dink around?
He can be. Sure.
Because Dink, you don't dig Tula.
No, she's dangerous.
When you see them,
trying to get her drunk. I see what's up.
Okay. So what in the scene we see them standing there, or maybe sitting and drinking? What do we see Dink doing?
Dink just hovers close, interrupts every once in a while, checking to make sure to see if Jen's gotten too drunk to be able to defend herself.
I think I would just kind of look up at Dink and pat on a spot near where we're sitting and say, Dink, you can join us. It's okay.
Yeah, and Jin will pull out a third glass if she has one, or put hers in on that spot and say, I've got booze. You can have some.
No. I have work to do. I'm cleaning this thing over here in the last of the sunlight. So I need the sunlight over here.
Okay, you're such a
Of course, if you need me, Jen, you just look. I'll come.
Okay, and you have to remember that Jin is wary of Dink, so she's sort of got this awkward triangle here, don't we? So Jin sort of backs off a little bit. That's okay, yeah, you go do what you need to do. That's fine. Yeah.
Quadrangles.
And Jin's trying to figure out what her next project's going to be. Because she took the inventor skill now, so now she can invent things because she's trying to displace Pontiac. So
yeah, because he's the hot shot. He's the rock star gearhead.
Exactly.
Ooh,
Maybe that's what we can do.
Before they're too drunk, maybe I should tell them the information I have. We can make
Huh? Maybe.
I think is there something you want to tell us?
Jin, you shouldn't lose your wits. There's trouble coming.
There's always trouble coming.
Oh,
Dink.
but in the house, in the Ark, Victoria's gonna take down Marlot. She's got guns. She's even gonna have the slaves. Like Gist thinks he's gonna have to fight.
That's
So counterproductive. She pours another drink. What are we going to do about them?
Victoria's upset because she made the temple, and now everybody's happy about Marlot and what Marlot did out in the zone, right? Right? So that's it. She's just jealous.
I mean, if they have scrap guns, it's really only two things we could do. One is try to smooth things over, and the other, well, I swirl the booze around and say, booze burns.
I don't think that's very constructive. I mean, that would cause so much more damage than it would help.
Right, that's a terrible idea. Terrible idea, Tula. You should make better ideas.
I don't like the idea any more than either of you, but we can't have bosses going to war with each other.
Well, maybe we just
You
need
should
to
go do
distract
it.
them with something.
Yeah, why don't you go do it? It's a bad idea, but you should do it.
Interesting.
So I think this is when Jin is going to try and distract them and say, oh, help me figure out what I need to build. I need to do something. I need to do something impressive.
Lasers.
How about we cut on kind of a brainstorming? We can cut with them throwing out the most absurd ideas.
I think it ends at lasers with Jin with that WTF reaction, me going like, lasers.
Well,
What's a laser?
and like a half bottle later, you see Jin thinking about the lasers. That's
Let's do a quick thing, Jin. I assume you want to try and do a repair project or build something. What would you like to do here for the scene? And then I'm going to throw an incident in to kind of push some things here.
let's see. The Jin is already broken, isn't it? So either I can fix the Jin or I can invent something new. Which I was thinking if Tula wanted to propose. If Tula was after the waiters still, I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, you could make rot suit. That's a very easy thing given your skill set.
Okay, yeah, I'll try and make a rot suit.
Okay. So what that is you're going to roll your jury rig skill.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to look and see. The default, if you get a success, is a protection rating 3 rot suit. More successes can make it last longer and give it better gear dice.
Okay. I got 2.
2 successes. So what you can do with that is you can have it that it will last. Essentially, it's beyond a scene.
Excellent. Sure.
Okay. So is it that you're adapting Tula's current waiters, or okay?
Yeah, I'd say that I'm adapting it. I probably got some chemicals and whatnot lying around, and maybe some, and so I can do an additional coating on what she's got. Do we want to say they come out some weird neon color, or that's
what is the cosmetic change to them, Tula?
Oh, and I think that's what it is. Like they were camo before, and now they're like coated with some new rubber and things like that. And yeah, like the camo pattern had to get stripped off, and now it is like this, like just toxic looking, like pink and green, like Posematic coloration. Just
I think when Tool is done, she steps back, takes a look, and says, "They're practical and they look cool, but I don't know how you lose your camouflage effect. But I think it's a win."
Seems good. And so that'll offer 3 protection against the rot. I'm going to cut forward here. But let's take 5 real quick. I want to get set up. I hope that's cool with you, Max. So we'll try and get a little bit in before you have to go. But let's take 5, and I'm going to throw an incident out. camera. Let's see. I'll pop back to.
Did you run MCC or did you play
I played it, it was neat. It was people who all knew DCC/MCC.
Yeah.
So while I knew that a little, they had a real strong grasp on it.
Yeah.
And I had backed the Kickstarter, so of course the the PDF, the big thing, just landed this week.
Yeah, I saw it on my feed. I didn't back it, so I don't have the PDF, but looking forward. Like I said, someone here in Austin is going to run a game coming up pretty soon, so
Oh, good.
should be able to get in on one.
Yeah, it was interesting. They the guy who ran the game has a podcast called Glowburn, which apparently
I've heard of that.
Yeah, which I didn't know of, and they've apparently been excited about that for a while.
Yeah, DCC's pretty crazy, but
Yes. I ran a couple of funnels. It was fun.
yeah.
I might do Mutant Crawl Classics, do a funnel of that for the Gauntlet because it's just crazy enough to work. All right. So I want to situate you with an incident here, and you can decide how you want to follow up on it. GM's fiat. I'm going to hard frame the scene here with you guys. You are outside of the walls of the factory, still within your same sector, but you're at that spot that Tula found for the good Earth. So it's the time at which Dink and Baldanders and Durango are all, getting some of the dirt up and out and hauling it. You're keeping an eye out, Tula, and we'll say that you're kind of looking at how you might be able to more mechanize this, Jin. When Tula, you will see come stumbling out from the north side from some of these ruins, you will see one of the stalkers come out. Her name is Flemish, and she's bloodied, hurt. You can see that her rot suit is torn. She's got blood running down her arm, and it even looks like maybe she has some burns on her. And she's doing that horizon stare of someone who kind of is just moving on instinct right now. So Tula, we established that you were kind of on lookout. You're probably the first one to react. Everyone else will notice this after you. What do you want to do?
Oh, I make our alarm cry that whatever we have pre-negotiated.
What is it?
I think it's just an excruciatingly shrill whistle.
Okay. So that will
business,
right? And that will actually you'll see Flemish kind of stop, like she hears it. She knows that's an alarm, and she probably drops to her knees. That kind of snapped her out of her instinctual movement, and she drops. She's kind of leaning on her axe, and try to stay upright.
I knock an arrow since she's on her knees now. Can I see if there's anything chasing her?
It doesn't look to you. I mean, you've got pretty good know the zone. You heard her coming. You don't hear anybody else. And you know that she went out on an expedition maybe a couple of days ago with 3 other people.
Shit.
Um,
I see her, and then I say, "We got injured," and then I like start running towards her.
okay. So who wants to do something?
Yeah, I'll run along with you.
Okay. You're pretty fast. You two will get up to her. So there's a threat, but they're going up. There's an injured person. What would Durango do in this situation?
Durango or Baldanders?
Durango. I want to get where the other people are positioned right now. So what does Durango do?
I'm gonna hang back. I'm just gonna keep an eye out on the horizon.
Okay, kind of move along. You've got Doji, and kind of making sure he's sniffing. You get him in that kind of alert mode.
I'm gonna send him out on a sweep.
Okay, just kind of do that perimeter. What about Jin?
My question is, does anybody but Jin have, what is it called, medical skill or healing skill? Is Jin the only one?
The only one.
I do, actually. I have heal.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
I'm quite good at it. I have 2.
Did you learn from Jin?
Obviously. I'm a very good student.
Maybe Jin's learning from Dink, I think, probably.
Okay.
Jin only has a 1.
Dink makes it seem as if Jin is teaching.
Right.
Oh yeah, exactly. Dink is like, "Oh yes, teach me everything you know about medicine." And it's actually going the other way.
Right. And I think Jin will say, Dink, you're really good. You should go. They're going to hurt her more than she already is if they try and do anything. Why don't you go help? And
Tula's probably going to kill her. I got it. I'll take off.
And Jin is actually going to try and move to higher ground so that she can see what's going on around.
Okay. So you move up to higher ground. Durango's kind of doing the circle around the look. The Doji is keeping an eye. Tula, you will get up there. Baldanders. Yeah. You have enough experience, Baldanders, with fights. You haven't seen wounds like these before. Unusual, clean cuts. And then she literally has a hole in her shoulder. Maybe the size of a nickel going through it. And kind of, she's dropped. Dink, you'll get up there. Do you want to try and do a heal on her?
I will, but of course, first I'll look at Tula like warning her off, like back off. Then I hunker down over her, and I'll try to heal her.
I'll like if there's like a high point nearby, I'll just like scramble to the top of that.
Okay. So to get up there, Baldanders, you're kind of doing the cover on this. Dink, let's have you roll heal.
Okay, here we come. All right, my heal is a 2. That is an empathy related, which I
Can I like hold her down? Would that be sufficient for an assist, or I can't remember how help works in this game.
I think. Do you have any heal?
No.
No, you have to have at least a die in the skill that she's doing.
Why are you holding her down? Okay, and here we go.
All right.
I have fail. But I will push it.
Okay.
3
Whoa!
Nice.
So you take a little stress from that. You take a point of damage on your wits, but
wits, not empathy.
Oh, empathy. Sorry.
It's okay. I just making sure.
Oh. Tell me what it looks like when you do this, like super fine triage.
Okay, so what are the wounds again? Like, what are the obvious ones?
She's got like set of slashes, kind of clean slashes across her side, and then her one arm is chopped up in a couple of places, and she's got a hole in her shoulder.
Oh, nice. Okay. So since he first failed, right? He's tenderly trying to check out the slashes, and it seems to cause her a little bit of pain. And I think he's got like some kind of glue, right? And he just glues the wounds back together. He just kind of shoves them together and then seams it together. And then he digs in with his finger, and she cries out with pain. And then he looks over at I was starting to say Balderdash, but whatever the hell. But Baldanders like, now hold her down, and then he digs around and he pulls out the thing. And he pulls out, it's like a little bone bullet like type.
No, actually, what it is it's like you pull out a piece of like metal, like the edge of a blade, like really nice. Like it's got one of the sharpest edges you've ever seen.
Oh yeah, I cut myself a little bit. Drop it. Oh god, Jim will like this. This is good. This is good, and it just disappears somewhere on me.
And she's kind of recovering consciousness here again, like you guys, pretty strong. She's a pyrotechnic. I got a picture of her up on the NPCs there.
What's her name again?
Flemish.
Oh, geez. Yeah, she looks cool.
Let me talk to the two people who are up. You'll look around. Doesn't see Tula. Jin, you don't see anybody else coming. Kind of watch for a while. You're pretty sure she's alone. And the same thing. You'll move around the perimeter, Durango, and nothing. She is clearly the only person here. The other few workers.
Yeah, I just say shit.
Yeah. The other few workers who are at the dig site, you will notice they've run. Okay, that's what people do when strange things happen out here. So they've all run back.
Yeah.
But she will regain consciousness and probably has to kind of pull that mask up a little. And when she does that, you'll hear that sort of as she breaks the seal on that. And she's clearly like bit her tongue or something, because blood come pouring out down her neck there when she does that. And she goes, there's a thing. There's a thing out there. It's bad. It's really bad. Somebody got sharps, took sharps. The other guys who were with me, Corbin and Musil, it just gacked them, cut them up, and then it picked sharps up, and it took sharps, and it went off.
Was it a ghoul? What was it?
No, it was made of metal. It was big. It had like, and she actually probably has to take off her face mask now because she's coughed blood on the inside of the goggle lenses. And she goes, it was like and she points like a torso, like an upper body part, and then it was sitting on like a chunk of metal, and it had these legs like a zone spider, and it moved on 4 of them, and the other 2 came up and grabbed sharps, and it had a laser. And she'll cough and kind of start to fade out. Can I assume that the rest of you will kind of congregate to to move to info, or is there something else you want to do?
Yeah, I think we need to get her inside the Ark, but I will say area is clear. Let's get her back to the Ark, and then we need to. Well, then we need to get a posse.
Okay. So Carrie, or is there something you put her on?
Oh, well, if we have wheelbarrows that we were taking the dirt in, or tarps that we're dragging, we can just put her on one of those. And Dink and Durango, they seem tough people. They can handle that.
Okay.
That's
Now, Durango, you had said something. I will say, for future sake, that you can go and get her scent and get a spot on the trail that she came in on. So if you need to, you could potentially follow that back. Does that seem cool?
yes.
Okay. You guys will drag her back to camp. Because those people ran back for safety, there's already kind of a hue and a cry. And there's no militia. You guys don't have any organized defenses. You don't have any kind of militia. So it's all just people picking up whatever sticks and rocks and things that they can find, people with scrap pistols. So there's a lot of armed people kind of out in kind of a stare down, it looks like. Looks like maybe Draco and Jahamad are keeping their people back. But Victoria's people are out because this is one of her stalkers. And you drag her back, and she's there with a couple of goons and comes up on you guys as you come back, and she's like, "What is going on? Did I stutter? What is going on?"
Baldanders would just be like, back up.
Kind of looks at you, sees, she knows that you're Marlotte's man. She looks at her injured stalker there. She looks pissed. She looks
We have
around for
someone
an
injured.
explanation.
We have someone injured here. We got to get him taken care of.
And she'll scream for Ferris, the doctor. Tiny little mutant like yourself, and she'll come running up out with her kit. And Dink, you'll see her run up, and she's got her stuff, and she kind of looks, and she's like, like, I can't do anything more. She looks around, sees you, Dink, goes,
Jin showed me how to do it.
"Oh, okay." And Ferris will go,
Yeah, I just sort of point at Dink too, and then go like that.
Ferris looks at Victoria and is like, she's fine. They patched her. She's gonna be fine. She's gonna be fine. You, stalker, Tula.
Yes.
What happened?
Flemish told us that some sort of mechanical spider jumped her and her team, killed two and dragged one off.
She's made she's been loud. Baldanders is there. She doesn't want to kind of back down. She goes, "Okay, we'll take ours." And she gestures for her people to grab the wheelbarrow or sledge that you have Flemish
Victoria.
on.
Victoria,
What?
there's a survivor out there.
Your point?
It's one of yours, right? They went out with Flemish.
How many people do you want to lose this week, Victoria?
Precisely. I'm not sending good men after bad. I got one back at least.
Fine. Then I'll get a team, coward. I say.
Okay. You guys will hear Tula say coward, and people get quiet. And you'll see some of Marlotte's people kind of shift over towards where you guys are standing. Like, shit could go down. Baldanders, I think this might be a point at which you need to be rolling Intimidate to keep the situation from escalating. Does that seem reasonable?
Certainly.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think kind of Baldander senses the tension and remembers what happened earlier with Marlotte, and definitely wants it to back down, but realizes the kind of tension here and what's all at stake. And he realizes that, caving's not particularly an option here. So I think he kind of stands up, if he had his hands on the wheelchair or whatever it was, kind of puts that down and steps up towards Victoria, and just it's, you got to think about the whole arc, not just your people.
Let's have you roll. You'll see, by the way, that Durango's dog kind of comes over quiet. You gets the ears down, gets its haunches set, like some shit is about to happen.
I mean, my bow is like across my back. My arrows aren't in my hands. My baseball bat is like on my hip, and I just I have my hands on my hips, like I'm
So I
not.
have one success.
Okay.
I'm not doing anything violent to her. If she wants to look like a jerk, then she can look like a jerk.
And I think that is it, that she recognizes between Baldander's speech and the way you guys are standing that this is more of an even fight. That's not what she wants. She doesn't want an even fight. And that she recognizes that if she does this, that she's going to lose some face even if she wins. So she just has her people grab Flemish and drag her, and they back off. She's doing that thing where she kind of keeps her eye on you guys to try and moderate the face saving, but she does back down.
I want to push this. Oh.
I mean, she's out in the open. There'll be some fallout, but if you're trying to prevent something inside because you overheard there were problems,
You know
make
what?
a move.
If you push it, you realize the consequences are probably we're going to have a gunfight here between a couple of gangs.
No. So the way I want to push it is this, not towards violence, but towards her action. I want to try to manipulate her. I don't have anything in this, but what I'm doing is I'm going to use her own social standing against her. And I say, and I say this.
So I'm going to look here. So manipulation, when you're doing this kind of thing, we also look at sort of the standing that you're at right now. So right now, your bargaining position is not great.
Nope, I know.
Okay. So I'm going to go through the dice just so we know how it is. Okay. So definitely she can hear you. She has more people on her side.
I was intending to use that against her with a stinging argument.
Okay. So you're just gonna lose one die, I think, from the numbers, because she does have her gang and she is a boss. So tell me what you're saying. I want to hear you plead your case.
Yeah. Oh no, what I'm going to say is this: so, if you want to keep an eye on me, then you'll join me in the zone to get your man.
All right, let's have you roll manipulate. Drop a die.
Oh!
What?
Wow.
She says, I'm going to offer you a compromise here.
I'm so fucked.
She says, I'm not wasting any more people, but if you're going to do this, and she'll gesture to one of her slaves. She'll gesture to Gist, and Gist will pull out like a store box, and you see her do some quick hands, and Gist will come forward and open up the box and grab a handful of bullets. I can't hear you. Muted.
I hold up my hands and accept them graciously.
Okay. She'll drop 16 bullets in your hands. That's what 2 successes get you. And she has Just do it very ostentatiously. Like, here's 16 bullets. Everybody can see that she is paying for this.
You slided her good.
And they back off. And Marlotte's people are like,
And Jin, I think, will call after Victoria and say, "To be clear, Victoria, this means that anything we find, we keep." That's not a question.
Whatever.
So I say, anyone interested in coming with us?
Okay. So Durango.
He's good, apparently.
Jin, what's your take on that?
Come on. Sorry, I was having problems getting the mute off.
Okay.
Take on what? Going out in the zone to oh, she wants the lasers.
Okay.
She's all in. And she figures, we've got somebody that can manipulate metal, so we can probably pull them off balance. So we might have an advantage here.
Quite possibly. And Dink, you hear Jin say,
Jin's going, and Tula's going. I got to protect Jin.
all right. Baldanders, I know you have to take off, Max.
Yeah. So I probably have about 15, 20 minutes. So I'm fine going and then having you all autopilot Baldanders, if that's acceptable.
I'll put him back as an NPC on the thing. That sounds reasonable to me.
Okay.
So it's midday. So are there any preparations that you 5 want to make in the course of essentially prepare for this?
I mean, we're going to need grub and water, absolutely. So yeah, the people can stock up on that stuff, and whatever's left over bullet-wise will split evenly.
Okay.
I think Jin wants to take something shiny that she could use as a mirror to look around corners, and probably get some thin ropes of some sort. Maybe we have something, whether they're ropes or something we could use to trip whatever this is or entangle it.
So rope will cost a bullet, and a mirror will cost a bullet.
Ouch. Okay.
Oh, that's out of my stock. Boop, boop.
And food is 1 bullet for 2 units. Water is 1 bullet for 2 units. Yes.
Wait, Tula, are you saying that you're paying for the mirror and the rope, or you're paying for it also so that you also have mirror and rope?
No, I'm paying for it out of the what we're getting paid right now.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And I paid for my grub and my water. Just however much you want of grub and water, just let me know, and I'll take it down off of our pay.
I think I'm good, actually.
Okay.
Anybody else need anything?
So did you say you were splitting up the bullets?
Yep.
So what's the share?
Well, I say I'm going to split it evenly after we all get our rations.
I'm good on grub and water.
Dink, how are you doing on grub and water?
I don't know. I'll look.
It's in the supplies section right underneath the
Yep,
appearance.
I got it. I didn't have my character sheet up. I have 4 grub 5 water. I don't know if I should have knocked
Oh,
off
you're
some of it
fine.
No, you shouldn't.
before, though.
No, if you
Okay.
weren't here, I didn't count.
They're all Twinkies.
Oh no, actually, Twinkies are a very special item, Rich.
Damn it. Okay. They're
Oh,
not
they
Twinkies.
could be
They look like
ho-hos.
Twinkies. They're like
They could be
like fake
snowballs.
Yeah, they're
They're
probably
snowballs?
generic Twinkies. Yeah, they're like
Twinkies.
twinkles.
They're dinkies. I call them dinkies.
Twinkies. Okay.
Oh my god.
Sherry got into a fight with another PC over Twinkies in the other game, so.
Oh yeah,
my
well
God.
we can't do that. Can't do that then.
When Tula hands out my bullets, I'm
Mhm.
gonna take some, and I'm gonna take one, and I'm gonna give it back to Tula. You keep this.
Oh. All right. So yeah, you're good on grabbing everything. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us going. Bullets. Everybody gets 2 bullets each.
Okay.
I'll give one back to Tula. Tula, you're the spear. You're the tip of the spear.
All right, so bullets are done. You guys have bought some quick grub and water. There are probably some fixers who are out there.
Yeah.
You know, they see that there's an opportunity, so there's some quick sales that go on there, and you will head back out. You can return to the dig site, and
Yeah.
I believe you're going to use your dog to track, right?
Hmm.
Yes. In fact,
Okay.
I wanted to talk to Dink. Can I borrow that? Can I borrow that object you pulled out of the? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine.
Dink, he asks for the fragment.
Oh, yeah. No, it's Jin's.
Ah. All right. Hey guys, I'm gonna step out just for a sec.
Okay.
And then I'll amble over and go, look what I pulled out of
That's it. And I guess Jin takes it.
Yeah, that came out of Flemish's shoulder. It's probably
It's-
important. Super expensive.
It's not metal.
Uh-oh.
You're like, this is like some kind of super hard
Ceramic.
like ceramic or plastic thing.
I've seen these things in my graphic novels.
Really?
I have.
I think Jin is looking at them and thinking, we might have a problem here.
Yeah. And it is super sharp.
Has anybody else seen these before? No?
Don't think so.
Well, this could be a new technology we could really use, but this might be more dangerous than I thought.
Why don't we test it on some of the materials around here to see if there's anything that it won't cut well?
I want to borrow it for a sec. I want to let DOG smell it.
Oh, very nice.
Okay. Get the sniff off of that. This thing cuts pretty well. I mean, it's like a really super hard, essentially razor blade, made of some kind of ceramic. All right, I need you to make a dog handler skill, a sick a dog roll for tracking.
All right.
This is still relatively fresh because you guys didn't take a lot of time to prep, so you're in good shape on that. So there's no modifier. So it's sick a dog with wits.
With wits.
Yep.
2 and then 3. All right, jumping around here. Syntax. Skills first.
I can't believe you got 2 successes on that roll, River.
That was awesome.
That was pretty brilliant.
That was crazy.
Yes. I'm so dead. I'm so dead. I'm not going to get another roll like that.
I was going to say, there we go. That was our one good roll.
Yeah.
I had 2 successes.
All right. You would say that you can find the track pretty decently. I mean, she's lost blood along the way. It's relatively easy to track. Describe to me what that looks like when you're having him track there.
Some of the bandages and so forth that were used. Just offering that to Dog. He knows what to do when I offer him something up to his muzzle.
Mm-hmm.
And I judge from his reaction how strong a scent trail we have.
You guess you're maybe a couple hours behind, but so not that much.
All right, couple hours, guys. Not far. Easy trek.
And you are heading sort of north of the arc. And I'm going to grab my little marker pen. I'm going to switch over to the arc map real quick, or rather the zone map.
Can we retcon it and say that we grabbed some of Sharp's clothes or something like that so that we could have a scent of Sharp?
Absolutely.
Sharps for DOG.
Oh yeah.
Sharp
I was
is
kind of curious of sorry.
Oh, no, go on.
I was kind of curious to like maybe trade my kind of busted bat for a fresh one.
Sure. Pay for it.
Yeah. How many bullets would that be?
Off the top of my head, I'm just gonna say 1 because I don't want to look it up.
Cool.
So that's what Sharps looks like, by the way. He's shorter than most of you, and he's super furry. He even has sort of the animal ears there. And he's real sensitive about it. And because he's probably the most adorable of the mutants, and it pisses him off because he really kind of wants to be a badass.
And he's called Sharps because
he's got sharp edges on him.
Got a sharp attitude.
Yeah, that's what he says. People say it's because his teeth are sharp, but yeah.
He's got big, nasty, pointy teeth.
So you move into the zone. I'm not going to do a find the path roll on this because I'm going to say this is an adjacent zone. You guys know this area here. And you'll move through it. It's like an old playground here, and maybe there was some kind of outdoor bandstand and stuff. All of that has collapsed. The swing sets are there, but it's just chains hanging that kind of do that in the air when you go past. And you will find a spot about midway through the zone where you will find the bodies of the other 2 stalkers, Corbin and the other guy whose name I already forgot, but he's dead, so it kind of doesn't matter. They have been most assuredly gacked. Looks like the hit with the blades kind of taken, not exactly by surprise, but certainly grabbed up. I will say that you guys can get, if you want to loot the bodies, 3 food and 3 water. And let's say one of them has an artifact. And that
I'm a little
artifact.
low on water, so I would like to have one of those waters.
Okay.
I think Jin's going to try and grab a grub and a water for Dink.
Okay. One of them has an unusual gun. I need somebody to make a comprehend roll to see if you can figure it out.
Who's got the best comprehend, I guess is the question.
Might be you.
Might be me, right?
Or Dink has been surprisingly awesome. Healing like nobody's business.
Yeah, comprehend is only a 1 for me. But my wits are good, so that'll make it okay. So let's see what this is. So she handles the gun, and I got a 1.
Okay, all you need is one success. This game, one success does it all.
Okay.
It is a nail gun. Okay. It gives you +2 dice to shoot or to jury rig. And it does 2 damage.
It gives you +2 dice to jury rig?
Yes.
Any objection? Oh, she looks at this and she spins it around. She says, any objection if I keep this? This thing is awesome. A multi-purpose tool. Does it have any nails? Follow-on question.
That is a good question. I'm going to roll 2d6, and that will determine the number of nails. Oh, that's the wrong thing. That's not the last time I will do that.
I do that so much.
Okay. It's 16 nails.
Okay.
So that was Durango doing the tracking. That was you checking the thing out. That was our Baldanders looting the body. What's your reaction to this, Dink? Kind of horrible sight.
Yeah. Yes, it's not great. I'm just keeping an eye on Jen. She seems really interested. So obviously it's interesting, even though I think it's terrible.
Yeah. How empathetic is Jen? I mean,
how empathetic? Let's see.
I'm curious about the humanity of her reaction.
She's got an empathy of 2.
Okay.
So what does that make her? That makes her relatively empathetic. So she probably wants to, be respectful of the bodies, I would assume.
Okay. So you guys will definitely be able to get that equipment, check it out. It looks like they were ambushed here. Anything else you want to do on the site? You can definitely see that there are distinct tracks heading further north.
So they were ambushed, and then they all went. The group was ambushed, and then they all went off in the same direction.
The group was ambushed, and then whatever did this, because you can easily see the spider tracks, headed north.
Do we know why she sent 3 stalkers out on this mission? Isn't that unusual?
It is a little unusual.
Maybe she thought there was something valuable here and didn't want to miss an artifact. I don't know. But
They got wind of something.
yeah, and we need to keep looking out. If 3 stalkers got jumped, we're in a very bad way.
Were they making camp when they were ambushed, or were they on the move?
They were on the move.
Oh.
Let me see what's the appropriate skill for this. Let me check one thing here. If someone wants to make a know the zone roll, we'll give you a read on the situation if that's cool with you guys.
I had it.
I've got one. I don't know if I'm the best to do that. I think 2 on it.
But you might be able to assist.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
That can give you an extra die for assist.
Sure.
River, so go ahead and roll with an extra die from Durango.
Does that go toward the skill pool or the
Skill.
Okay. Sweet. Two.
So it looks to you as you guys kind of move around. I assume Dink's kind of watching over Jin. Balbanders is checking around. You guys are looking at the area. It looks to you like this thing came from that same direction, that northerly direction, and pretty fast. And maybe kind of rushed to get ahead of this team and set here to wait for them. And then when they came from north, it ambushed them, killed them, grabbed Sharps, and then went back north.
Sharps had something. Sharps took something.
You're saying that they were on the way back when they were ambushed? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, they were clearly coming back from the north when they were ambushed. Okay. They were returning.
Ooh.
Yep, I think that's gonna. In my my assessment is going to be, they took something, and it dragged Sharps back because it had that thing.
Maybe it just liked furry bunnies.
Well, with
ceramic bunny trap.
Okay. So yes, when you spit on that piece of ceramic, your acid spit will disintegrate it.
Yeah.
So Jin, you will see him destroy that super sharp piece of ceramic.
Sorry.
I think she smacks you upside the back of the head. What are you thinking? I could have used that to try and duplicate it.
Yeah, I'll get you another one. I'll get you the whole damn thing.
Do you need me to wait till it goes to sleep and hurt him?
No, Dick, I think we've got a good understanding going here.
Okay.
So the question is, now you guys can return back at this point, having made an assessment of the situation, or you can press on further northwards.
We're only a half hour outside of.
Probably took about an hour to do this and check the zone. So yeah, it's maybe 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
Okay, I think we should follow the path. We can come back and pick up the dead on the way back to the Ark. As much as Victoria gets under all of our skin, it's still best to bring the dead back so that others can mourn.
Yeah,
we can take some time to put them under a little stone cairn really quick and quick as we can.
I mean, we could at least. I think we could. I think she'll like roll a big rock on top of one of them so that it doesn't get dragged off by a predator.
Okay, yeah. Essentially pin the carcass down so it is not pulled off intact by predators.
Yep.
That won't last long.
And then we
come back
they're grub now.
Yeah. Oh well. But yes, and then
all right.
Then we carry on.
So you're going to move into the next zone forward.
Okay.
I'm going to have you now roll find the path, which is your unique stalker skill.
Opportunities 2 and 4. Oh yeah, that's the downside. Well, I'm gonna push this.
Oh yeah, please do.
Well, 2 damage in 1 hit.
Okay.
I hope it's worth it.
So you will be able to move into this area. And when you get in, like right away, guys, like as happens often in the zone, there is a microstorm. And the sky kind of opens up. And it is raining, that kind of slightly blackish rain. And the terrain you're getting into is muddy. It looks like kind of decayed ruins around in here, some overgrowth, lots of things torn up, sidewalks that are bent, streets that are twisted, like bombs went off here, kind of bent, and that makes the going harder for you because we've got all this mud and all these broken sidewalks you're having to clamber up over Tula, and the rain is just coming down and it's getting in everybody's skins and suits and everything like that.
And I think like I'm like climbing stuff so I can get a good vantage point. I hop down and I like jam my ankle, and that's sort of fictionally. But man, that's how I lose. That's how I get hurt.
Okay, and that goes off of, that's a wits roll, right?
It's agility.
Oh, it's agility. Yeah. So yeah, you do twist that, and you guys are moving along through here. There are actually some fairly intact buildings around here. You're a little surprised. You hadn't been up this way. This isn't the direction you came from, and you will continue on moving again. Dink, it's getting at everything, this water. Jin, you like it because you're a tree. The dog probably doesn't, I mean, it doesn't mind it, but eventually it's going to smell like wet dog for the entire trip back. And between the sort of the tracking and your sort of surveilling for dangers, you will find a set of smallish buildings and kind of a larger, like metal, looks like tube that's kind of split open a little ways away from that. You can see where it's busted open. There are chairs that have fallen out of the tube. And it's kind of laying there. And it's, I mean, the tube is what, 40, 50 feet tall. And the chairs are kind of spilled out of it. But what you will identify is one of these buildings that's close by. That's where that thing went. That's where that thing is. It's in this, imagine like a strip mall and a couple of buildings collapsed, and there's one of these like
little spider drones.
Well, you haven't seen it yet, but you know that the thing that grabbed it is in one of those buildings. In fact, you can probably identify which one it is.
All right.
There's only one of them.
Should hold up for a bit.
You've only followed the tracks of one of them. How do you want to proceed? You got good, decent cover because, of course, it's raining. It's hard to see. Works for you and for them. What do you want to do?
Okay, I'm not sure I understand everything like I want to. This.
Okay, please go ahead and ask.
One of the drones, one of the whatever.
There is only one. There is only one.
This is where we tracked it to.
Yeah, so you've tracked it back into this adjacent zone. You follow the track back, and of course it's still raining. It based on what you've seen in the tracks and based on what Tula's been able to ascertain with her observational skills, it's pretty sure that it is in that building in the sort of the one of the standing parts of a strip mall there. Other buildings are relatively intact or fallen down. Looks like it's in that building.
Jen, I know you expressed interest in this thing mechanically. Is this thing of interest to us in a larger capacity? Getting it intact?
The more intact, the better. There'll be more parts that we can use.
I'm wondering if we couldn't lure it out, bait it out into an area where we're waiting and capture it.
We don't know what it wants, though.
Well, it wants to protect.
Rain coming down.
I mean, I think we're in a building that lets us look at this while we're.
Yeah, let's assume you're in a ruins,
Nearby.
like across the street. Let's say it's an old McDonald's. Okay, you're looking out from behind the counter. You're probably in the ball pit, which is all the balls have shrunk and deflated. So it's this sort of multicolored mulch that you're standing on. A little bit of standing water down at the bottom of it. You're kind of peering over across the street. You look. It's like a cell phone store that is hauled up in,
Okay.
so you have some cover. A little bit of rain coming down on you from leaks and bits and things.
While we're talking, I've taken off my waders and I'm like massaging my ankle a little bit and say, I honestly don't care what it has. Our man out. We can always send people back in force later.
I'm just thinking, I'm thinking about the influence we could wield if we managed to pull something like this back, let alone what it's protecting, the thing itself.
I used to travel with some people. They would get greedy. And they would get dead.
Taking a chance is taking a chance.
Yeah. Jin looks at Tula. What do you recommend we do? We still have to try and get.
I came here to get
sharps. But luring the thing out is our best way, probably, to get sharps. If we lure it out in a way.
The way. What's her name?
And if we do,
the one
Victoria or Flemish.
The way Flemish said is that they got ambushed, or the way it looks, he got ambushed on the way back, which means to me that the safest route is to get sharps, not to mess with anything that's in there. If you want to look around, I won't stop you.
Okay. Rain is coming down.
Is this acid rain or is it just rain?
This is just rain. I mean, it's raining, which is kind of unpleasant. Of course, it has all the rot in it, so you're getting the rot, as you usually do when you're out here in the zone.
Mm-hmm. Well, I still think we're going to, in any case, we're going to have to lure it out. And if we're going to try and keep it from following us, we're going to have to entangle it or capture it or disable it. But if we don't take it out, it's going to follow us back unless you have some great way to hide your tracks.
I look at Durango. Do you know a way we might hide our tracks?
I would think I could.
Could try. Okay. The mud actually and the rain.
I think this thing has a sight.
Yeah.
Something
you don't know. You haven't seen it. You haven't looked at it. You don't know what's going on.
All right. Then let's push in while it's still raining. If that's going to obscure our tracks, then it's done and over with before the rain stops. I put my waders back on and I say, You fixed up my waiters, so I owe you a solid. You're back on this.
So, what I'm thinking, maybe it's a bad idea. I want to hear what you guys have to say. But we ambush it. It's not aware of all of us yet. I don't even mind being the bait.
But what does it want?
I don't know what'll trigger it. Maybe just going in its territory. I don't want to hightail it back to a place where you can ambush it.
All right, then we can do this with you taking lead and us covering you. I look at Dink and I say, Dink, can you watch our backs?
Always. That's what I do. We
Okay.
should send the dog. Nobody cares if a dog dies. We can get another dog.
Hey,
What if the
now.
dog dies?
Think. That animal's important.
Mm-hmm.
Important to me.
Are we going to try and... Jin pipes up. Are we going to try and lure it into someplace? As in, if we try and lure it from across the street into another place, we could set a trap for it.
Yes.
Once we spot it, then we can try to set up a trap for it. But until then, we're just going blind.
Maybe. Hey, this whole building served like food or something back in the day, didn't it? Don't they have those big?
I think so.
That's more stuff I've seen in my graphic novels. Don't they have like these big refrigerators? These big metal boxes they stored stuff in?
Yeah? Okay. What about them?
Maybe we could trap it in there.
Do we have any idea how big this thing is?
No, you guys haven't seen it.
Big enough to carry off a person. Let's take a look and see if they have something like that here. So yeah, look around the McDonald's. Is their freezer still intact?
Well, so what that would be is if you guys want to do something like that, I would consider that a jury rig roll. And so there are resources around. So he could certainly try and build something, but it'll be how successful it is will be determined on his roll.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Does that seem reasonable?
Or Jin's roll more like.
Yeah, Jin's roll. Yeah, for the jury rig, right?
That may be our best bet for capturing it. I look at Jin.
Yeah, that sounds. That's if it's big enough, then are we going to say that the jury rig roll sort of defines how big it is?
Yeah. Though the problem is, again, you don't have any intelligence, so I would say establish that as a penalty since you have not seen it and don't know what it's like.
No intel.
And we have to lure it into the refrigerator. Is what I'm
person.
Right. And we have to lure it into a refrigerator. Is that the idea? That sounds pretty difficult in and of itself.
Yeah, it's a dead end that we can control. And then it only has one exit.
We might be able to get the thing in there, close it off, and then run like hell.
Okay. Jin's thinking, if this is what you really want to do, okay, I'll make the trap.
Does anybody else
volunteering to be the bait?
You want what's in there, right?
Oh yeah, I want to see what's in there, and I don't want this thing coming after us.
Do you want to go up? Do you want to sneak up so we can get a look at it then, Jin?
I can stealth my way in, maybe.
I think Jin wants to set the trap before we try anything, so that we have some place to put it if it comes after us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I can stealth while you're working on that.
You reconnoiter, and I will hang back far enough that I can, I don't know, shoot arrows at it if it pinches you.
Okay. So let's do the jury rig first. I'm going to give you a die penalty for not knowing the circumstances of the machine, and I'm going to give you a die penalty. I had another thing that was going to hurt you with in another way. But you want to try and trap it. You want to get it set. Here's the other thing. You're going to need an extra success to do it quietly.
Okay. Does that mean I can't use the nail gun?
You can certainly use the nail gun, and hopefully that doesn't carry.
Yeah, I think I want to use the nail gun just because you said that gives me +2 die 6.
Gives you +2 dice, +2 gear dice.
And so does that?
I'm going to say
is that going
you're going to need. Here's what I'm going to say. It's going to require at least one extra success to keep it quiet, and if you get a 1 on either gear dice, that's very loud.
Okay. Well, she's itching to try this thing out, and she's an optimist, so she's going to go for it.
Okay.
Well,
so you get your syntax ready.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Before you do that, just in case, I'm just going to see this thing's going to be loud. We can set up. If the thing does come out, well, you just became the bait.
Okay. Jin says, okay, I guess I'm up for that. So since this is this inventing, or it doesn't matter if it's inventing or jury rig, she gets is it +2 dice what she gets then when it says +2?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, good.
Dink, how are you setting yourself up? You've heard that she might make enough noise and draw this thing out.
You sure about that, Jen? I don't know. I don't know if you should be the bait.
I'm hoping this goes off well, so I won't be the bait, Dink. Plan for the worst, but hope for the best. I think and she whispers to Dink, in the worst case scenario, I can just shut the refrigerator on myself until it goes away.
Okay.
I know what Baldanders would do. He'd be laying crouching in the ball pit, and if the thing comes, he will
jump out.
He'll get the jump on it since he's got those wired reflexes.
He's super
enhanced reflexes
under flattened toy balls. So there is where he is at. All right. So you figure out your dice right now, but let me, before you roll, I heard that while that was going on, that you wanted to try and sneak up. Is that correct?
Yeah, I thought we'd do
both
at the same time.
So no, we're gonna start with your roll, resolve that, and then we'll check in with the jury rig. We're going to get you into positions because we'll cut away. So this is going to be a sneak roll for you.
Yep.
Here I go.
His skill is first. 2. And my agility is 5.
That's really good.
This will be the time I blow the roll. All right. Get it in the right window here.
All right. So 2 successes, and you don't have to push it, so you don't have to take any damage. So you will move up quietly under cover of this
bad
weather and the ruins, and you'll move up to the front of this. And of course, it had a glass window, so there's a big open frame where that was. And I'm going to drop in on top of the map what this thing sort of looks like from the waist up.
Oh.
And what you will see is you don't see sharps. Well, actually, you get 2 successes. So I'm going to say, actually, yeah, you can come by and you can see that there's a big store, kind of long. Sharps is like tied up with some kind of plastic cable, and off to the side looks like he's still alive. You will see this robot. It's in human-sized torso. It's on a sort of big block of metal. Looks like there's parts and things in there. It has hands, and it has those 6 legs. What you'll see it doing is it's at the counter of this thing, and it's got a big pile of devices, similar looking things, and it's like tearing open boxes, pulling these things out, popping them open, pulling pieces out, and it has a panel on its chest that it is kind of putting them in, and they're not fitting, and then it puts that down, and it goes and it opens another box.
Trying to repair itself.
So you will certainly get up there. You're safe. You're in a good position, hidden. Now I'm going to cut from that back to this jury rig roll over here. Let's have you make that roll. Holy mother capoli.
I have a 5 in wits and a 3 in jury rig, plus 2 for the nail gun. So I thought that, but I did get one of, what is that? Is that a device exploding or something like that?
That is a 1
That's
on
it
your
being
gear
loud.
die. The one that I mentioned you didn't want to get.
Yeah.
So what that would do is if you pushed, you would damage your gear, but it doesn't do damage right now. So you're getting it, and you're like, oh yeah, you got this. This is a big steel vault. This thing is solid. You know, Dink's kind of helping you out, right? Dink, how do you contribute to this project?
I think I just whisper encouragement because, boy, she's got this handled.
She's on it. She's, get stuff set, she's getting all this stuff. I mean, and this thing is solid. This door, you've got an automatic drop for the door, so it'll, you can easily tug it, follow it. This thing is solid. It's solid enough you don't think that, I mean, if it has a laser, surely it couldn't cut its way out of that. Surely. So you got that set, and you're like, all right. And you're like, you're just about done. You're super excited. You're just about done. And you're like, oh yeah, got to get this one little piece here. And when you go to do it, poof, and that sound carries like nothing else around here. It's like, when you're at a party and everything gets quiet and somebody says a really stupid thing and it just echoes across. It's like that. That sound carries. You'll hear it where you're at, over there.
I'll hear it from my cover point.
Oh yeah,
Let's just say
Durango. But you've got that extra success, so you're kind of down, and you will see this rod, and it, one of its legs reaches over and grabs Sharps and wraps it under one of the legs. It shuts that panel, and you'll see this thing kind of come up on its shoulder, and it starts to move out. And Dink and Tula, you will see this thing come walking out slowly from the store.
I don't even dare breathe. Because I'm in like a side building, so I can cover Durango, and so yeah, it's gonna have to walk right past me.
It's probably about 8 feet at its shoulder because the way that the spider body on this thing works, and it is. I mean, you hear the chink, chink as each foot comes down, probably cracks the concrete a little, and it's moving slowly. It's not in any hurry. It's moving around and looking carefully. And I'm not going to have you make a sneak roll, Tula, because you had time to set yourself in position. But Dink, I'm going to ask you where you are and what you're doing.
Well, nobody's around, so I've slipped out my little slingshot, and I have a few bullets. And I'm ready to go, but I'm trying to hide. I know that Balderdash is in the vault,
right?
So I've got it. There's a table. It's kind of flipped over. I'm hiding behind the table, and hopefully I can hide really well there. I found this guy, this little plastic guy. He's got a mask on. And he's got this big wide brim hat. I'm just kind of rubbing him for luck.
Yeah. Got him.
Yeah.
He was in the plastic, so he's like new, And
I took him out of the plastic.
oh yeah, the value dropped immediately, but still good. Of course, you've got greasy, black fingers, so you're probably getting him dirty, even as you're doing that. I'm going to need you to make a sneak roll.
Okay.
I'm going to give you +1 dice because you've had time to set up.
Oh, cool. +1 dice to add that to the skill?
Yeah, add that to the skill.
Okay. And sneak is an agility thing. All right. I don't have any gear for sneaking, so.
Nope.
Here we go. 1 success.
Perfect. So this thing is moving over towards the McDonald's. It's got a sort of slightly struggling, so still alive, sharps under his one of his arms, and he is moving slowly and carefully over towards the Mickey D's. He's coming closer towards you. Thule's kind of going.
Does Sharps look like he's conscious?
Yeah, he's kind of struggling. Doesn't see any of you guys. His eyes are wide with panic. Okay, he is freaked the F out. And this thing is moving along. Carefully, you can see it's looking. The other one of the front legs that's up is kind of arced around, and you can see that it's got the ceramic blade on it. And there's this gun on its shoulder that is pivoting around, and it moves across in the rain. It's beating down on it. You can hear that sound of that metal, and it moves, and it gets to the front of the McDonald's, and it kind of stops, and it's sort of surveilling the situation. Now, at this point, it's probably getting close to within eyesight of you. So now I'm going to need Jin to make a sneak roll if you wish to hide, or if you wish to put yourself out there.
I think Jin is like finishing chewing on her hair, and she spits it out and realizes that she's, I guess, the only one in position to be bait, and she mucked it up. So she can say, "That's one of our." Sharps is male, female, them.
Them.
Okay. They're one. You're holding one of our people. We want him back.
And this thing moves up. Not like forward at you. It moves so it can get side of you. Where are you standing?
I'm trying to think what could be cover. She's going to try and take cover, which might be the counter, I guess.
Okay, so you're behind the counter over there. I'm assuming the spider thing now is right by your table, Dink.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh.
Like you look up and you can see
I know what I want
arm doing that thing, and it looks at you.
Huh?
Doesn't see you, Dink. It's clearly looking at over at the counter area, and it waits. And Sharps goes, "Get me the fuck out of here! Get me the fuck out of here! For the love of God!"
Very sharp.
And
I know what I want to do.
Okay, so I'm gonna start asking. I'm gonna ask Dink what he's gonna do. If he's gonna hold position or he's gonna do something, and then I'm gonna come around and check with everybody. You guys gonna get a round of action if you're gonna do something. And I will allow someone to use Baldanders as a bonus to their action. Okay? Dink, you are the closest. You can hear the grinding of it, the water dripping off of it because it came out from the rain. What do you want to do?
I want to hold action because basically I have a sling. So flicking a sling at a thing that's right in front of me, not the best idea.
Yeah, you look at the stone, you look at the metal, you're like, oh, man.
This is not going to work other than pissing him off.
All right, Thule, you said you had something you wanted to do.
I mean, this is going to piss it off for absolutely certain. But there are two things, and one One would be to push the leg open that's holding Sharps, but I feel like he's just gonna run away, perhaps even rabbit on us, and then we'll have to chase him down, and that's gonna be no fun. So I think what I want to do with it, maybe at a safer distance, is to use my metal powers to yank that frickin' gun clean off of its shoulder.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
It's in front of me, so I'm gonna just reach out.
Here's the beauty of Mutant Year Zero. Spend a mutation point.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna roll a die.
And it happens. Yep.
Just 1d6.
Mutant points. So I feel like I have more mutant points. I feel like I want to burn 2 in order to.
It only takes 1 mutation point to get this gun off.
Okay.
Okay. So you only have to roll 1 die to see if there's a side effect to your mutation.
All right.
Just don't roll a 1, which means you're going to roll a 1. That's how it works.
I'm going to roll a 1.
All right. Now I need you to roll a d6. A 1. Okay. That was not the best combination of things.
Part of myself. One of my stats goes down permanently.
Yeah, so here's what happens. You go to do it, and your mutation runs amok. Your magnetic powers like hit this thing. You get to have to lower 1 of your stats, and you're going to develop a new mutation immediately. And it would help if I had those cards right by here.
Like in addition to the one he already has?
Oh, yeah. But
wow.
One of his stats permanently goes down.
Oh, yeah. One of Tila's stats just goes.
Okay. You gain. Nobody has cryokinesis, right?
Nope. I don't think anybody does.
So here's what will happen is you do that and it hits this thing, the gun tears off, and at the same time when you do that, it's got all that water on it and stuff, and it freezes, like the ice just forms all over, and all the water in the air in the room immediately turns to ice. And this thing also freezes in place, like it's not moving. So what are you going to do, Jin?
What? That's unexpected.
Looks to you like whatever the magnet thing did, like it's rebooting right now.
Oh. Okay.
Grab the body. Push it in.
What happened to Sharps? Is Sharps
Sharp's still caught in this thing, and he's covered now. All of his fur has frozen to him. He's like, "No, what are you doing? That's not how you save me." What are you doing,
I want
Jin?
to rush down.
I'm going to come to you in a second, Durango. What are you doing, Jin?
It's booting up. I guess can Jin go to a place of concealment?
You want to just keep yourself hidden?
Or get more hidden, right? Because the trap is set, so the only thing I can think of is if I do something to try and lure it in, maybe position myself so that the mirrors in the like what they did in Jurassic Park with the kids, where they lured they said they had a reflection that made it look like the kids were in something that they weren't.
Sure.
Make it look like I'm in the freezer, but I'm not.
Given that it's rebooting, it's not able to do anything right now. I'm going to say that that's not an action we need to roll for.
Okay.
Get yourself into position. Dink, you had held action, and then I'm going to come to Durango. What do you want to do, Dink?
I want to run around and snatch cute, adorable, fuzzy Sharps out.
Okay. I'm actually going to make that a force roll. You'll get him out of it, but the question is how much damage you'll do to him in doing that. Does that sound cool?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm just damaging him, so I'm okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, let me do that. Okay, I have 1 in force. Do I have it? Oh,
And what's your strength?
my strength is no. I have 1 damage in strength. Does that take it down by 1 then?
Yeah, it reduces it by 1 die.
Okay, cool. So I'm at 3, and then I have no gear. Here we go. As a failure, I'll push it.
Okay.
I've failed. I still no successes, but no damage. Is that right?
So you don't take any damage. However, he does, because when you rip him off, he is frozen to this metal arm, and you pull it off, and fur and skin goes with it. And he shrieks out in pain, but you've got a hold of him and you're moving away. And he is quite badly injured right now. Between the original shock and this, he is in very bad shape. I'm going to check in with Durango, and then we're going to see what happens on the next round. Durango, what are you doing?
I'm going to move in closer to the building. I was thinking about getting right on it, but you see inside the building that Jin's setting something up. I don't want to muck that up.
It is midway through the restaurant. It needs to get to the back to where the freezer is at. But you do see that Dink has a hold of sharps. Yeah.
That was our target. So
okay. So you're holding moving. Okay. So what that means is you can take your action to aim. So if you do any kind of ranged thing, we'll give you an extra die for that. Okay. Okay. Let's come around. Who wants to go first on this next round? Because this thing is still rebooting on this round.
Wait, heard it. Can I toss it aside and like toss sharps aside? And how big is could I lift this thing?
So imagine that it is 8 feet tall at the shoulder.
I heard that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It probably weighs maybe 650 pounds, you would guess.
Yeah, we need.
I was thinking like 1.5 tons.
Well, there's a lot. It's future stuff, so it's ceramic and that kind of stuff. So it's not as heavy. It's not like breaking things down.
Well, I don't have a knife. I don't have anything to hurt this thing.
If you maybe if you and some other people try to push it, you might be able to push it into there. But it would take several of you to do that.
Sweet.
I can
Dash, push it in
bat.
there. Sorry. What? I spoke over you, River.
I can always throw you my bat.
Yeah,
if you wanted to use that.
I'm going to try this. I'm going to do the shoving.
Okay. So that's going to be another force check. Let me check what Balderdash's base strength is. I'll give that to you as bonus dice since we're using him as an NPC for this thing. Does that seem reasonable?
Yep.
Okay. So let me look at. I'm going to keep saying Balderdash. I wish you hadn't gotten that in my head, Rich. Ooh, his strength is 5. So roll 5 additional skill dice.
5 additional skill dice. I'm so strong when I have him helping me. Yay. Okay, so this is force again?
This is force. It's a difficult thing. So we're going to read it based on the number of successes that you get.
Okay, and so I get 4 extra dice in skill. Correct? Or 5 extra dice in skill.
Yep.
Oh, this is going to go really poorly for me because I have a lot of dice going.
Oh, yeah.
We get this.
One success.
You have 1 success. Yeah, do that.
And I got 2 successes. And no damage?
No damage, dude.
No.
Yeah. You and Balders push this thing forward into this thing and slam it into there. Get it through that. Jin, are you slamming it shut?
You mean locking the trap?
Yeah.
Are you asking Jin?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Because you're by there. They've slammed it into there.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's there. Then we lock the trap.
Yep.
and it'll come and just slam down hard on this thing.
Time to
So
leave.
do you guys want to beat feet? Cheese it?
I'm gonna sick DOG on that pod that you ripped off. Have him go grab it.
Oh, that seems fair enough.
Bring
Okay.
it out for Jin.
All right. But you've got this thing locked in there. After a few moments, you'll start hearing the
Time to go.
you've got
Well, we got
sharps.
something of value, and we got sharps.
Are you guys good with
I'm
that?
I'm here.
Yeah, let's get him out.
Okay, you guys will.
DOG,
You
scout
guys
me.
can book. You've got Tula. You've got a dog. You've got the skills. You got the rain to cover you. You will beat feet back south. You know this thing's still going to be out there as a threat, but it's not on you guys right now immediately. And you will make
And its
it back to
capacity
the
shoot us
ark.
is reduced.
Let me very quickly, because I know Rich has to go, give you guys experience, and then we'll close off, and we've got last session next time. So very, very quickly, let me get to that page.
Oh, wait.
Thing. So if you participated in the session, you get a point. So that's the very first one that you get. If you did a day's work, you get an experience point. So that's another one. I think everybody did that. You explored a new sector, so that's another point for everybody. Did anybody sacrifice or risk something for your PC buddy?
I feel like I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely did. What about you, River?
To change the PC buddy
You can change it at the end of session, yeah.
at the end of session.
Yep.
Well, since can we say that we do it at the beginning of the session since we have rotating cast?
That no, that seems fair. Actually, yeah, you're right. Let's do that. Okay.
Since I wanted to do the whole thing with giving Durango a pill, like I made that decision, I wanted to make him my. So yeah,
Give yourself a point. Did you sacrifice or risk something for the NPC you want to keep safe? Anybody?
no.
I think so. Did you sacrifice or risk something to mess with the NPC you hate?
Nope.
Nope. Keep in mind, all of these you can change. We can talk about that at the beginning of next session. Given circumstances, you can shift those around. We'll come back and talk at that beginning of the next session. Did anybody sacrifice or risk something to reach your big dream? I think this is more of a rescue
Kinda.
thing. What do you think?
I think my character has decided that she's going to put down roots here. So standing up to one of the bosses.
Definitely. Yeah, we'll give you a point for
kind of be
that.
stupid.
Yep. So next time we'll check in on NPC and PC relationships. If anybody has 5 experience points, you can buy a skill or a talent. We'll check in on that next time. And let's go ahead and wrap that here, if that's cool with everybody.
Yep, thanks,
We're a little over time. We're going to stop here, and any questions we'll handle next time. Okay?
That's good. Everybody have a good
Thank you.
afternoon.